Welcome to the Investor Empowerment Series radio show, empowering your real estate investing with techniques, opportunities, and information, minus the BS and sales pitches. Now, please welcome the host of the Investor Empowerment Series, Joe Mueller, from the Tough as Nails Investment Syndicate. Joe Mueller.
Hey investors, I wanted to give a quick insider opportunity to the listeners out there who are currently doing deals or just getting started and looking to create more financial efficiencies for their real estate business. Introducing Investors Title Services, a much lower cost option for procuring the necessary title insurance policies for your real estate transactions. Think about how much money you've spent on title insurance in the past on either your current purchases or sales, and think about how much you'd be savings if just a couple $100s per transaction ended up back in your pocket. Well, now you can by optimizing the relationships that other investors have established that you currently need for your business. That's what we do here at Investors Title Services. If you're a fix and flipper, a wholesaler, or a buy and hold landlord, we specifically serve this small niche, offering you the best deal on title policy insurance. Call 847-443-9676 today to learn more about how you can save hundreds of dollars, if not more, on your next title insurance policy.
Whew. Welcome back to the Investor Empowerment Series radio show. This is episode number 82. 5-Minute Friday. We're going to do another one of these babies, talking about the points to consider for a successful JV deal, JV aka joint venture, when investing in real estate. Let's get down and dirty here, people. So when you have an opportunity or you have a resource and you want to get involved in real estate investing, or you want to be the next latest and greatest investor with a portfolio of rental properties, or fix and flip 10 houses this year, you have a need. Possibly you have resources, but you definitely have needs. When you're investing, you're going to need properties in order to fix and flip them or to put them in your rental portfolio. That said, point number one, do your homework in advance. Whether that's researching markets, having your comps prepared, your acquisition comps, your ARV comps, so when you fix something and you're ready to flip it, have that stuff ready to go. Because if you're looking to joint venture on a deal, for example, I myself, Joe, have a property and I'm looking for private money on that. I'm going to handle the day-to-day management and fix and flip that property, but I need money in order to move forward. I need to present that opportunity to somebody that's got the resource that I'm looking for, which in that fake example is money. If you need the money, you got to do your homework on the background. You got to make it so stupid easy for that financial partner to get involved that they can't say no. And it's not that hard nowadays with the internet, yo. You can pretty much find anything you need about a property through the Google machine. It's amazing. That said, point number one, do your homework in advance before you're going to present your concept to a partner, or potentially to a partner, or to a room or group of people, handing out 10 business cards to people that you think might be a potential resource for you. And what's the thing to hit home about right now? Where do you get yourself in front of a group of people? Yeah, meetup, networking. Going to these events, even going to these goofy Than Merrill 1 hour, 2 hour lunch things where they give you a fake Apple Watch and sucker you in and try to sell you a $20,000 class. Hey, that's all good. There are people in that room that also have resources and needs. It's not a bad idea to attend that stuff. I know Dan and I have hit that stuff up more than once, checking out what's going on in the market and what type of stuff's being put out there for investors to hear and what they're interested in doing. And there are plenty of people that stand up and say, yeah, hey, my name's Johnny B, and I've got some money to invest in properties. I just don't know where to get started. Boom. Go talk to that dude. All right. Point number two. You got to kind of know your shit to create success. And when I say that, that means if you're brand new to the business, like you've never done a deal, then maybe instead of trying to get out there and lone wolf it and find your own opportunity, it'd be stupid easy for you to find someone else that you can just shadow for a couple of deals. Follow someone around, ask questions, take them out. Now, busy investors, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, sure, I'm free every Monday morning to go have coffee with you. Like, that's probably not the best case scenario. But if you meet one of them, you get in their face, you get their attention, you tell them what your plan is, you tell them how, you've got potential resources or skills or something, and you sound like you know your shit, they're going to listen. Most investors are cool that way. They want to hear more about real estate investing. They want to hear about what people are doing. So newbie plus newbie equals probably still newbie. Like, you got to be careful with that stuff. So if you haven't done a deal, tie yourself into one in some capacity. Help them go do some work. Paint the place for them. I don't know. Go to the store. Figure out what materials they're buying and why. Talk to them. I guarantee you, if you offer up, there's got to be opportunities for investors that they'd be interested in hearing what you have to say when you're offering them to buy lunch or beer or whatever to get their attention. That's what I'd be doing. If I'm trying to meet the next greatest investor in Chicago area or something, I'm going to do everything I can to find out what they're interested in and figure out how I can provide that to them. Hey, Joe, how about we go grab a beer next week? Oh, I like beer. Cool. Yeah, sure. I can hang out for a little bit. You're buying, right? Oh, yeah, I'll buy. Perfect. There you go. Can be that easy. But don't expect it to be like, you just call up one guy that's busy every day and tell him like, hey, we should go out for coffee next week and blah. Yeah, well, maybe. What do you want to talk about? Know your shit. Know some deals. Bring something. Study bigger pockets. Be prepared. Have something to converse about other than, hey, I want to fix and flip properties. Find common ground with that person in some way. There's a couple different examples. All right. Got it. Point number 3. Utilize existing relationships to excel within your business. So, again, you want to have a successful joint venture, you got to have those partners in place. They're going to help you succeed. That way, when you do have somebody that goes, yeah, sure, I'll give you $100,000 to fix and flip that house. That sounds like a great idea. You're not trying to do this thing all on your own with zero expertise on your side if you're the guy or the gal managing that project. Here's an example. Hey, I want to buy this 2-story single-family house in this great area, and it's in a great school district, and I've never really done a deal, but I think if I buy it and I put a second story on it, it'll be worth $1 million. Do you know what you're doing? No, probably not. I wouldn't even. I don't know what I'm doing with that. Don't take that risk. Keep it simple. And then if you are going to move to that level or you are going to need assistance in that, go and ask for it. Realtors, they can help you. Brokers, they can help you. Lenders, like actual mortgage lenders, they can help you. Appraisers, they can help you. Lawyers, they can help you. Wholesalers, they can help you. Lots of different peeps in this business. You got to get yourself out there. You got to be able to leverage those relationships in order to excel for yourself. I know when you just finished your first fix and flip project that you bought at a great price and you put $50,000 into it and you think you should sell it for $200,000 more because it's the greatest house, and then the broker tells you, probably only about $100,000 more, and totally deflates your balloon. I'm not saying don't get a second or even a third opinion, but those people know what they're doing. We know what we're doing. I'm defending brokers right now, which I never do. Like, there's a reason why they've been in business. Okay, one thing, if it's like Cousin Johnny and he's never done an actual listing, okay, not so much. But if you have somebody that's been in the business for several years and has actually closed transactions in the area that you're marketing in or you're buying or flipping your houses in, listen to what they have to say. They know things. They know what they're doing. Find someone that does if you don't think the broker knows what they're doing. I bet they do. All right. Point number 4, don't reinvent the wheel. This is like every newbie nightmare HGTV wannabe type situation, Chip and Joanna, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's no need to get crazy. There's no need to put in a wine cellar in a basement. There's no need to add the library unless you're talking like $1 million house. Like, yeah, that's all cool stuff that you'd probably love to have in your house. But guess what? You're not going to live there. The average Joe Schmo, Joe Public is going to live there, and they'll put in their own freaking wine cellar if that's what they want, which they probably don't. But don't reinvent the wheel. Don't come up with stuff that sounds so cool but is crazy off the wall that you think is going to help sell a house when really it's just you're going beyond the bread and butter. You don't need the jelly. Stick to the bread and the butter. Kitchens, bathrooms, paint, flooring, outside, inside. Make sure all the mechanicals work, that the roof is still good. Make it look nice. Curb appeal, bushes, flowers, stuff like that. Put the cookie smell in. Bake fresh cookies. Don't care. That's all good stuff that we know works. No need to go beyond that and get cray-cray. All right? All right, point number 5. This is probably I should have said first before you found that partner. That would be make sure your numbers make sense. When you're JVing on a deal, before you even pick up the phone of somebody that you think might be a potential joint venture partner, dude, you got to have those numbers backwards, forwards, in front of you, ready to go when you're asked that question. I get it. Like, sometimes there's going to be a question you don't know the answer to. So you say, you're going to respond with, you know what? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. I'll get right back to you. That's how you answer a question when you don't know the answer. But when it comes to like, so what are the other investors purchasing properties like this for in the neighborhood? Well, I don't know. I think this one's a good deal though. No, you don't want that. What are these property? What is it going to sell for once it's fixed up? Well, it should sell for $150,000. No, it's the comp here at 123 Main Street sold for $147. The comp here at 2121 Evergreen sold for $149, and the comp over there, which is an identical property at 125 South Main, sold for $153. And then, boom, the joint venture partner goes, oh, okay, so it should sell for around $150,000. How long was the market time? How long did it take to sell it? Hold on, let me check Zillow. No. Get all that stuff done in advance. Be ready to have a conversation when you're on the phone, when you've got someone's attention, you have a potential opportunity. Be ready. And then know what you're in need of when you're having that conversation with that partner. If they're interested in the numbers, they're going to give you the money. They're going to want to know more about it. Maybe they'll even buy it from you if you just want to wholesale it. I mean, it depends on that investor and who you're dealing with. But what's their need? Do they have an IRA with money in it? Do they have some type of qualified retirement account? Do they have a 401k? Do they have just cash in the bank? Are they actively fixing and flipping? Do they have a rental portfolio? Do they have equity they can pull out of properties? Like all those things, maybe have an idea of what the need potentially is for that investor. If the guy's got an IRA with $150K sitting in it, yeah, well, then there's your opportunity. Hit them up that way. Cash, how are you going to offer up the deal? How are you going to structure it? You got to be ready to consider what the structure of that joint venture deal needs to be to satisfy that joint venture partner. And that brings me into my next point, which is point 6, about structuring these deals correctly that make sense. So if the numbers work and you need, let's say you're getting a hard money loan and you've got some money in the bank, but you need $25,000. Let's say that there's a number and it's $25,000 that you need to make the deal go through. And let's say that's the down payment, just for the sake of discussion on 5 Minute Friday. You go to investor A and you say, yeah, I've got this great deal. Here are the numbers. I know my shit. I've got this great realtor out there who can sell stuff fast, who's the best thing since Joe Mueller. You've got your attorney, your partnerships, your relationships are there. You're familiar with all that stuff we just talked about. You've got your scope of work planned out. You're not reinventing the wheel. You're talking about how you're going to do the roof and the kitchen, and you got to replace some windows, and it's going to come out great. And there's 3 comps on the same block that have sold for pricing that's going to make you $50,000. Boom, awesome. But you still need the $25,000. Well, the investor says, "Well, you need $25,000. What do I get out of it?" Well, you got to structure that deal right. Are you going to give up 50% equity for $25K on, let's say, a $100,000 acquisition? Probably not. But if you're going to ask somebody for that money, you got to have a plan. And you know what? If it's going to be a small amount like that, you got to make it juicy. Maybe 20% interest. I'll pay you 20% interest on the back end after I sell this house for the duration of the loan for that $25K. I don't know. That at least a little bit mouthwatering. Maybe it's the IRA deal we talked about. If it's an IRA deal, then I'd love to see a 20% deal even if it lasts for 6 months. 20% for 6 months on a $25K investment, regardless of what's in their IRA. As long as they've got that covered, they got $50K, they got $100K in there, whatever, because that's only a portion of their asset. And then they can make a big chunk of change just off you working on it for 6 months and providing it back to them. Now, that sounds like a plan. So, like I said, do your homework in advance. Know your shit to create success. Utilize existing and create proper relationships with those in the industry. Don't reinvent the wheel. Make sure your numbers work and structure the deal correctly. I think that's 6. I don't know if I lost count or not, but that's all I got for 5-Minute Friday, 15-Minute Friday. That's what we're going to call it this time. Maybe I'll just change the name since it never goes for 5 minutes. Episode number 82 of the Investor Empowerment Series radio show. We'll talk to you soon. See ya.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Investor Empowerment Series radio show. Be sure to tune in next week for another empowering episode. We welcome your feedback, so please rate us on iTunes and Stitcher. And visit us at www.investorempowermentchicago.com or tennisgrouprealty.com.